American dream. He's just a common man, working hard with his hands. He's just a common man, working hard for the man. Hey, he's American dream. Hey, he's American dream. If you're black or white, redneck, funky, that's alright. Blue-eyed with a lot of soul, common man has got his gold. Hey, he's American dream. Hey, he's American dream.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Top Road Rowdy, our special remembering the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. I mean, it's a heartbreaking time
It
for
is.
professional wrestling with Dusty passing away.
Well, we just had Vern, and now we got Dusty. It's
I
crazy.
know.
It is crazy.
I mean, I don't want to say this the harsh way of saying it, but with these deaths, they are natural causes and not the young dying.
If you have noticed that, the Dusty generation, most of them died from being either old or from natural causes and things of that nature.
Right.
It's the generation after the NWA generation. It's the WCW Attitude Era generation. It's
Yes.
those generations that are dying young
dying
with the
young.
drugs and stuff. You notice that?
I have noticed that. Yeah.
It's the the 80s and 90s people that are dying from that stuff. It's the 60s and 70s people are just dying because hey, they're old.
in old age, yes.
So it just shows how the business changed in those generations and how it's
hopefully-
affecting those
And
generations.
hopefully, it's changed again, and we don't have a lot of young deaths.
Yes, hopefully it's gone because of the wellness policy. Hopefully it's gone back to the way it needs to be. Almost the pull hammer. Oh, what the
No,
right
no!
Right
No!
Kevin Taylor is correct, ladies and gentlemen.
Ah!
Why? I mean, R-Truth, they're not even doing anything with R-Truth.
I know.
Why?
See about on his way out. Something we don't know.
He's old anyway?
Okay. Well, let's get started with the 10 greatest ever WWE heel stables. And number 7 this week is Camp Cornette,
Yes.
led by Jim Cornette.
And the prominent members is Owen, Hart, Yokozuna, British Bulldog, and Big Van Vader.
It was from 1995 to 1997. Go.
Here we go with the
Vader.
exception of one other guy. We'll get to him shortly. Jim Cornette, maybe the funniest manager in the WWE. It's all in the, what the heck kind of word is that?
Smarminess.
Smarminess and the arrogance, the unrelenting motor mouthing, and that stupid tennis racket, which always found its way into the matches at inopportune times. Cornette knew how to pick them. He specialized in managing massive monsters who knew how to move. He represented Yokozuna, the surprisingly agile 500-pounder, at a time when he was the undisputed WWF
Oh.
champion.
Do I smell a Junkyard Dog King Harley Race match coming up here?
What's that mean?
That he'll have to bow down to Barrett. He'll have a match because at WrestleMania 3 it was Harley Race versus JYD, and whoever lost had to bow to the winner.
So King Bear's wins. All right. At a time when
Harley Race won.
Huh?
You know, he got Harley Race did win.
But he still got embarrassed, though, didn't he?
He still got embarrassed,
Of
which is
course.
fine.
He represented the following members of the Hart family. Owen, of course, but also the
No, we
British
get a new
Bulldog.
crown, I guess, because you know he put his cape on Monday night. He put his cape on. He got a new cape. Put his crown on now. I guess we get a new crown coming up.
Yes, but
Sorry to
also the
interrupt you.
British Bulldog, who decided that
Baby.
the nice guys finish last. And then there's Vader, who can forget his deadly Vader bombs, his, what kind of word is it?
Decimation.
Decimation of Gorilla Monsoon. It's been a long time since I've been in school, baby. And
I remember that. I
feeling-
remember when he squished when
Oh,
he gave him a Vader bomb.
And you know why?
Yeah,
I saw an interview. He actually had to go have surgery. They signed him while he was injured. So they signed him. He got suspended so that he could go have the surgery. Interesting way to do that. And the feeling that at any moment He could snap Camp Cornette combined intimidation, dirty tactics, and championship accomplishments to create one scary stable.
Okay.
Yes. Next.
Go ahead.
Okay. 100 wrestling pay-per-views you must see before you die with key matches. Number 60, Ring of Honor, because you did it to me again. I knew what you were doing. Glory by Honor 6.
That must be 58. 58's easy for you. You can read that in your sleep.
Wow, that's horrible. I believe that's number 6.
That's horrible, baby. That's horrible, baby.
That's horrible.
That's no Dusty Rose booking that, baby.
That's true. Glory by Honor, I believe that is 6 right there.
That is 6.
Not
That's
2.
up the roads.
Hey, the road there, baby.
Roads.
Hey, baby. Amen.
I know we're probably getting in trouble for this, but who cares?
A blue-eyed soul.
I don't know.
Exactly. Very nice, ladies and gentlemen. You are hearing part of the network right now on our show. The record breaker. He's too sweet to be sour.
I know, I told you.
The Tower of Power. Sweet.
Woo.
That's hard, wasn't it?
I know this is great TV, folks. Here.
It is great TV, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the network right now.
They won the title.
That's where he won the title.
The McIntyre's up the road.
Very nice.
I gotta stand up for it.
I see that. That's right. This is Libby. He's bad. Polka dot, baby. Sapphire, baby.
Don't that fine.
Sapphire. Here we
That flag getting thrown. Woo! Bionic elbow.
His old school look right there. A lady at my work actually said that her grandmother thought he was a sexy man.
That was at the Hall of
Yes,
Fame.
it was Hall of Fame. Yeah, he was the manager of Scott Hall at the NWO. when Dustin was a little large. He bet it was just a little bit big.
Yep.
Before Cody even made it.
I'm back between Dusty Woo.
Going into the Hall of Fame, baby.
Hey, well, Jerry was that year.
Yeah.
And Jerry.
Or were they just there presenting? Who may have been there presenting? I can't remember who all was there.
I know I came in and sit y'all up there before. Superstar Billy Graham.
Tully Blanchard. Oh, what a feud. Tully
4
Blanchard.
years. 4 years.
Of a feud? 4 years of a
Yes.
feud. Wow.
NXT
Presenting the belt to the first ever champion, Seth Rollins. Beating up his own son.
Hey,
You gotta do what you gotta do.
you gotta whip some.
That's right.
Sense
Tough
of
love. Some tough
Tough
love.
love, baby, tough love.
We got 10 minutes till the show come on.
And we're good. Reaching out to you, people. Reaching out to you.
Out to you. That's when they got the jobs. Cody got a job.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey.
That was very good.
Very nice.
Very, very nice. They did a very good job there.
Yes, they did. And it's so loud, even if they did do a chant, you couldn't hear it right then. Key matches for Glory by Honor 6, Night 2. Bryan Danielson taking on Morishima, is where I'm going with that. And Mosiah taking on Kenta, who is now Hideo Itami. Number 59.
Number 59, TNA Slammiversary 2006. Key matches. King of the Mountain match, NWA World Heavyweight Title. AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels versus America's Most Wanted. Hey, Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens, ladies and gentlemen.
Ass KOs. Hashtag Ass KO.
Very nice. Number 58, the WWF Royal Rumble 1992, and the key match is 1992 Royal Rumble match.
That's when Flair won the title.
Well,
With a tear in his eye!
Cheers, this is the greatest moment of his life.
Number 57, WCW, baby, Starcade,
Baby, Starcade.
1996.
I think he created that name too.
Key matches, Ultimo Dragon versus Dean Malenko.
It says Dale. Deal. It says
Deal Malenko.
Deal Malenko.
Jushin Thunder Liger versus Rey Mysterio, who I'm gonna quit wrestling, baby. I ain't gonna go anywhere
I'm gonna
else.
go to the Mexican movies.
And
Baby.
Hot Scott, Batty Roddy Piper, taking on Hulk Hogan, baby. Hulk Hogan out there, taking on the Hot Scott.
Dusty called Rey Mysterio Baby Ray.
Baby Ray,
Baby
baby.
Ray. Baby Ray. And then for number 56, WWE WrestleMania 18 with Hogan versus The Rock, where Hogan turned face. Triple H versus Jericho for the WWF title, who should have not been the main event. And The Undertaker taking on Ric Flair, which
Now,
I think made him 10-0 right there with Ric Flair.
could have been. Up next, now we'll do the 40 wrestlers ranked worst to best.
Number 25, Stardust. Pros, a good wrestler who can put on a competitive match. He's taken a crappy gimmick and made it work. I don't think it was considered to be crappy. I think it was great.
Yes.
And he's always had good gimmicks even with the mask on his face and everything.
Yeah.
Number 3, he has a history of mid-card success and victories against WWE. What?
He pushed his hair.
Nice. Has a history of mid-card success and victories against WWE veterans. His cons should be much higher on the card by now. The Stardust gimmick has been fully played out and should be done by now. I don't believe so. And isn't given any real storyline direction anymore, and I do agree with that.
Number 24, Natalia.
That's, yeah, baby.
So we're having a son, and now have a daughter of a former wrestler.
That's true, baby.
What's the last one? Ooh, and we have sons again.
Sons
So this is like,
again.
it's like family.
This is generational
This
here.
is family generational here.
Very nice.
Get ready for
They are about to start,
Alrighty.
so we got to
The
hurry.
pros for Natalia, arguably the most technically sound female wrestler in the company,
True.
has a wrestling royalty connected to the Hart family, can put on great matches with virtually any diva.
True.
Con, she's pretty much a manager now.
That's a good thing.
Despite having wrestling 15 years, WWE hasn't booked her to be a real champion. Is often regulated to secondary feuds and matches.
True. Number 23, Jimmy and Jey Uso. Pros, one of the best, most exciting tag team in the entire company. True. Excellent chemistry with each other and other teams. True.
Yep.
Can put on a good show anywhere on the card, and both have main event experience. True. Cons, they're exclusively a tag team. If they were to ever break up, they'd be done. We've said that
True.
before, because
Yes.
they're twins. If one gets injured, both disappear from the show. That's happening right now.
True.
And I don't know what that is. What kind of word is that? Something everywhere are rolling in their graves over that entrance. I don't know who that person
I
is.
guess it's some Hawaiian
You
thing.
can spell it.
That's right.
Maoris. Y'all can look it up if you want
I guess
to.
some kind of Hawaiian thing.
I guess. That's weird. Now we're going to go on to the third round of the Teddy Long.
Baby, tag team tournament.
Tag team tournament, baby. Teddy Long, the tag team so much, if you will.
And we're starting the holla player bracket.
That's right.
Number 1 seed Road Warriors taking on number 5 seed Bad Influence.
Interesting here.
I'm saying it's very interesting here.
Where are we going to go with the Road Warriors taking on the Bad Influence? Because we're at the point now in the tournament where there will be no buys. There must be winners.
There must be a winner.
Exactly.
And there will be a winner, as I can see the Road Warriors taking out Kazarian and Christopher
Yes,
Daniels.
that is true. That is very, very true. I'm glad we were thinking on the same page, because great minds think alike.
Baby, yes.
Seth Rollins won it just last year, didn't he, baby?
He did, baby.
And now he's in the main event, baby. Look at that, baby.
Everybody's showing everybody who's cashed in, baby. Except for they're not here, baby.
That's amazing. 2 number 2 seeds in this tournament right now, and 3 number 1 seeds. 2 number 5 seeds, and only 1 number 3.
That's amazing.
Interesting. Now we're going to have the Dudleys, number 1 seed, taking on number 2 seed of Demolition. Ladies and gentlemen, I do enjoy Demolition, but I'm saying the Dudley boys take it all the way.
That's one thing, baby. When they had number 1 seed, they had that little bitty ooh, where they would catch Axe and Smash with the 3D, and it would be over for the Axe and Smash, the Road Warrior wannabes.
That is very true. Then we're going to go on to Anderson and Tully Blanchard, baby. I have many a few with them, baby.
Oh,
If you will.
up and down the road with the Destiny, Telly Blanchard, and Arn Anderson.
Yes, baby, if you will. Taking on number 2 seed of the Hot Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, in this very match, this is probably one of the hardest right here between these two teams. I am going, and you still spelled it wrong. That's funny.
I just copy and paste.
Quit copy and pasting it.
Just-
Fix
I
the
didn't-
name. It's not Blamshire.
didn't
His
write
name
it.
is not Blamshire.
It'll be Blanch. If they advance, it'll be Blanchard next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that the winners of this match, the Hart Foundation, are related. Yes, that's wonderful. That's great. But
Technically sound, Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson are a well-oiled machine
Exactly.
who can beat any team on any day
And
of
you
any
think about this, you
anything in the week.
think about this right here. Think about this right here. They both have the greatest winners of all time, baby. But in this particular match, if you're doing heel versus face, ladies and gentlemen, if you think about it, the Hart Foundation would not have a manager
They would not have a manager.
because Jimmy Hart was with them when they were heels.
Right.
The Brainbusters were always heels. So guess who's their manager? Bobby the Brain Heenan. So guess what? Hands down, baby. Guess who wins? The Brainbusters
Of course.
every time because Bobby the
you
Brain
have
Heenan.
two great technical wrestlers
Yes.
in Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. You have the Enforcer and you have Tully Blanchard, which I don't know what his moniker is.
Yeah.
And on the other side, you have Bret the Hitman Hart. Yes, one of the greatest.
Technical.
Bret
Very technical.
Hitman Hart, the best there is, the best there was, the best there will be. But you have Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Yes, he's a big, strong,
He is, but he
muscle-bound guy.
never met his true potential.
He never did, and he would be the weak link
Yes, he would
of the Hart Foundation.
And because there's the weak link in that team, and you got Bobby the Brain Heenan on the outside, boom.
If it was Bret and Owen taking on Tully and Arn,
Might be a different story.
It would be a totally different story. It would be a flip of the coin. But being that Jim the Anvil Neidhart is with Bret, and you have Tully and Arn, there is no way we can't go without the Brainbusters picking up.
Brainbusters are
the
the winners. You notice they're all on one side. That's
I have
pretty
noticed
funny.
on one side, yes.
That is funny. And they're all three number one seed, baby. Because we pick winners, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, the final match. The final match of the third round, ladies and gentlemen. Number 3 seed, the Steiner brothers.
Rick and Scott Steiner brothers.
Their brothers taking on the British Bulldogs, who are cousins. But think about this. Those cousins are very volatile. Apparently they did not get along. Could that be something that would affect the match? I believe that, yes, Dynamite Kid is a great athlete. He's a high flyer. But you think about the Steiner line, number one. Think about Steiner line. And think about the fact that Scott Steiner could get you in a Hurricane Rana. They call it another name. Frankensteiner. He could pull that out of anywhere. Literally from a standing position,
Yes.
he could get you.
But you have two athletes here, the British Bulldogs, who trained in the Hart Dungeon. And if you come out of the Hart Dungeon, you are tough as nails.
You could say that, but you could also say that for Jim Neidhart. That's where he trained too. And he just lost. So,
He did lose.
so
He's
is
out of
that,
shape.
but British Bulldog's a big dude too. He might be able to get gassed up. But here's the thing. The Steiner brothers, if you look at their accomplishments, you look at who they've beaten, you look at everything, they lasted longer as a tag team. They were a better, well-oiled machine. They were brothers. They did not have to communicate with each other. They knew what they were going to do. And to me, they were a better all-around tag team. The British Bulldogs weren't well-traveled. If you look at the Steiners, they wrestled and they had championships in Japan. They had championships in WCW. And they had the tag team champions in the WWE, if I remember correctly.
Oh, they did.
So the
They also
British
lost to
Bulldogs,
Quebecers, too.
were the British Bulldogs WCW tag team champions?
There was no WCW around.
Okay. Were they the NWA tag team champions?
No, they were not.
Were they WWE tag team champions?
Yes, they were.
Okay. Were they a Japanese tag team champion? I do not believe
Don't
so.
think so, no.
Dynamite Kid did his own thing in Japan.
Yes, but I don't believe the British Bulldogs won any titles in Japan.
Exactly. So to me, the better well-oiled machine, the better tag team out of the two is the Steiner brothers. And even individually, if you think about this, individually they went on to even better careers than British Bulldog and Dynamite Kid too.
Yes.
Just saying.
But, folks, that is set up there.
The semifinals are next week.
And right now we have the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal, taking on Bubba Ray and Devon the Dudley Boys.
That is a match that anybody ever would want to see. They would definitely want to see that match. That is a dream match for any tag team loving people.
Oh, yes. And that's coming out of one side of the bracket. And out of the other side of the bracket, we have the Brainbusters, Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, taking on those Steiner brothers.
That's right.
Rick and Scott Steiner.
2 number 1 seeds taking on each other, and then a number 1 and a number 3 seed. Ladies and gentlemen, to me,
How will the finals shape
this
up?
right here is even a better tournament than the Intercontinental title tournament.
Oh, yes.
This tournament right here is so far the best. So, very quickly, because the pay-per-view starting with an in memory of
Dusty Rhodes again, yes.
Next
10 bell
week,
salute.
with everybody
With
out
everybody
there.
out there.
That is awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I've got chill bumps.
to honor
Yep.
the life of WWE Hall of Famer, the American
Very
Dream,
nice, I know.
Dusty Rhodes. Please
Fit
rise
Finley.
as we toll the bell.
Get up. We're going to rise here.
We're going to get up live. Very nice.
That was very nice, and what a way to end our show. Ah, so great.
Even with the theme song, ladies and gentlemen, next week, the semifinals for the tag team tournament, the 10 greatest ever WWE Heel Staples, number 6, the New Hart Foundation, plus news countdowns in SummerSlam 1996, and I've got chills right now,
That's
ladies
a whole
and
much
gentlemen.
more. I know.
We're going now live to the pay-per-view. We will see you next week for episode 63.
And thank you, Dusty. Thank you for everything you gave
Yes,
for us.
thank
for all
you,
us
Dusty
wrestling
Rhodes.
fans. And we'll catch you next week right here at Top Rope
The
Reality.
dream lives on.
Amen, brother. Amen, baby.
Amen.